Do you remember when Rick Hunter and Dee McCall always brought the bad guys to justice? The truth is, no one was prepared for what happened behind the cameras. A $20 million lawsuit threatened the show's biggest star. 20-hour filming days pushed the cast to the limit, and one terrifying accident nearly changed everything in an instant. This is the story Hunter never told, and most fans never knew. Fred Dryer as Rick Hunter. Fred Dryer was only 38 years old when he stepped into the role of Detective Rick Hunter, a tough, no-nonsense homicide detective who wasn't afraid to bend the rules to bring criminals to justice. The role made him a worldwide television star, but success came at a steep price. Production often fell behind schedule, forcing the cast to endure grueling 20-hour work days for 3 straight nights. The extreme exhaustion even created safety concerns around prop weapons, leading Fred to improvise parts of his dialogue to ease the pressure on set and help keep filming moving. The demanding schedule continued for years and eventually took a toll on his personal life. Constant work left little time for his family, and his marriage to actress Tracy Vaccaro came to an end in 1988. After the divorce, Fred chose to remain single and shifted much of his attention to behind-the-scenes work, giving him more time to raise and care for his daughter, Caitlin Dryer. As he stepped away from major television productions, Fred embraced a quieter career, focusing on independent films and his own business interests. He continued acting in the feature film Death Before Dishonor, 1987, and later appeared in the television series Land's End, 1995. At the same time, he maintained a disciplined fitness routine, allowing him to stay healthy while carefully managing his workload and enjoying lasting financial stability. In January 2026, Fred Dryer reunited with his longtime co-star Stepfanie Kramer during an appearance at the Hollywood show. Now 80 years old, he remains physically fit and mentally sharp thanks to the healthy lifestyle he has followed since his days as a professional athlete. Today, he enjoys a peaceful retirement with his family in California, bringing his decades of hard work in the entertainment industry to a satisfying close. Stepfanie Kramer as Dee McCall. Dee McCall is the intelligent, fearless detective was played by Stepfanie Kramer when she was 28 years old. Her natural chemistry with Fred Dryer and her willingness to perform many of her own action scenes helped make the series a hit. But behind the cameras, the production was nearly shaken by tragedy. Late one night, after the cast and crew had been pushed to work long hours, a prop gun that had mistakenly been left loaded with a live round accidentally discharged while Stepfanie was handling it. A male supporting actor was injured, forcing the production to completely overhaul its safety procedures. Away from the set, years of relentless work also affected her personal life. Ongoing pressures gradually strained her marriage to Mark Richards, and the couple divorced in 2001. Suddenly faced with raising her daughter Lily as a single mother, Stepfanie struggled to balance new acting opportunities while protecting her child from constant attention from the entertainment media. Stepping away from long-running television series became a turning point in her life. She left behind the pressures of Hollywood to pursue a more creative and independent path. Stepfanie devoted more time to music, releasing her solo album One Dream in 1999, while also appearing in the feature film Twin Sisters, 1992. Through music and acting, she found a way to heal from the emotional wounds of the past and rediscover a sense of peace. Now 70 years old, Stepfanie lives a quiet, private life in her hometown of Los Angeles. She has turned down offers to return to mainstream entertainment, choosing instead to focus on writing, singing, and occasionally appearing on religious talk shows. Looking back, leaving Hollywood when she did allowed her to preserve her health, find lasting peace of mind, and maintain solid financial independence through 2026. Charles Hallahan as Captain. Charles Dean. Charles Hallahan was 43 years old when he took on the role of Captain Charles Dean, the respected commanding officer who served as the steady backbone of the precinct. With his calm authority and commanding presence, he convincingly portrayed a leader who was tough when he needed to be, yet never hesitated to stand up for his officers when politics got in the way. The success of Hunter brought him both recognition and financial rewards, but it also meant an exhausting routine of traveling between television productions and stage performances. Years of pushing himself without slowing down gradually wore down his cardiovascular health, even though there were no warning signs of what was to come. Just as his career was reaching its peak, tragedy struck without warning. On November 25, 1997, Charles Hallahan suffered a fatal heart attack while driving in Los Angeles. He died at the scene at just 54 years old. His sudden death left his wife, Barbara, and their two young children facing an unimaginable loss as they were forced to say goodbye to both the emotional and financial pillar of their family. His passing became a heartbreaking reminder of the hidden cost that years of relentless work can take on an actor. Although his life ended far too soon, Charles Hallahan left behind an impressive legacy in American film and television. Long before Hunter, he had gained worldwide recognition for playing Vance Norris in John Carpenter's horror classic The Thing, 1982, and later appeared in the disaster blockbuster Dante's Peak, 1997. His career remains a testament to a generation of hard-working actors who devoted themselves completely to their craft. Perry Cook as Barney Udall. By the time Perry Cook joined Hunter, he was already a seasoned actor at 63 years old. His portrayal of Detective Barney Udall brought warmth, humor, and genuine dedication to even the smallest moments on screen. Landing a role in one of television's biggest hits also provided him with a reliable income, allowing him to enjoy a comfortable life in California without feeling pressured to compete with Hollywood's younger generation. While many actors struggled to balance fame and family, Perry found lasting happiness with his wife, Mary Cook. Their strong and supportive marriage became the foundation that kept him grounded throughout his career. Rather than spending the rest of his life chasing more roles, he made the conscious decision to step away from Hollywood after Hunter, choosing his family and personal happiness over the demands of the entertainment industry. Walking away from show business turned out to be one of the best decisions he ever made. Free from the pressures of studio life, Perry spent his retirement quietly in California, caring for his wife and enjoying precious time with his children and grandchildren, well away from the public eye. Leaving Hollywood on his own terms also helped him maintain both good health and peace of mind throughout his later years. Perry Cook passed away peacefully at home from natural causes on June 19, 2014, at the age of 91. His passing marked the end of a remarkable career that spanned television's golden era. Through hundreds of classic television appearances, Perry Cook left behind the lasting legacy of an actor whose quiet dedication earned him a respected place in Hollywood history. Garrett Morris as Sporty James. Garrett Morris was 49 years old when he joined Hunter, taking on the role of Sporty James, the quick-witted street informant with a loyal heart. At first, the character had been written by the show's white writers as a one-dimensional stereotype. But through his talent and determination, Garrett transformed Sporty James into a far more human, relatable, and emotionally rich character. His performance not only challenged the racial stereotypes that were common in Hollywood at the time, but also strengthened his reputation as one of the industry's most accomplished black actors. Behind the humor he brought to the screen, however, Garrett endured years of racial discrimination throughout the 1970s and 1980s. As one of the first black cast members on the groundbreaking Saturday Night Live, he often found himself isolated, given less screen time than his fellow performers. Those experiences took a lasting emotional toll. The pressures of his career, combined with the hardships he faced in his personal life, including surviving a serious shooting during an attempted robbery, eventually affected his health as he grew older. The gunshot injuries left lasting complications that gradually limited his mobility, making it increasingly difficult for him to walk without ongoing medical care. Even so, Garrett refused to let those setbacks define him. Now 89 years old in 2026, Garrett Morris enjoys a peaceful life surrounded by his family. Far removed from the pressures of the entertainment industry, he remains mentally sharp and occasionally appears at events honoring black performers where he continues to inspire younger generations. John Sharon as Lieutenant Ambrose Finn. John Sharon was cast as Lieutenant Ambrose Finn, the calm and disciplined officer who helped keep order within the detective division when he was 42 years old. His understated yet commanding performance brought credibility to a character who represented integrity and professionalism amid the constant pressure of police work. The role gave him steady recognition in Hollywood. But instead of chasing greater fame, John realized that the entertainment industry no longer matched the life he wanted. He made the bold decision to leave it behind and pursue a completely different path. Stepping away from Hollywood opened the door to an equally meaningful second career in education. Beginning in 1990, he became a professor and later chair of the Department of Theater and Dance at East Carolina University. Drawing on everything he had learned in the entertainment business, he devoted himself to mentoring young artists and helping them navigate the academic life offered the stability and purpose he had been searching for, allowing him to build a happy and lasting family life with his wife, Jennifer Sheeran, and their children. Even so, the years of hard work in both the entertainment industry and higher education gradually took a toll on his health. As he grew older, he developed serious age-related illnesses. And after a long and courageous battle, John Sheeran passed away on April 28, 2017, at the age of 72. Surrounded by his wife and children in his final moments, he left behind the legacy of a man who found success not only as an actor, but also as a respected educator who shaped the next generation of performers. James Whitmore Jr. as Sergeant Bernie Terwilliger on screen. James Whitmore Jr. was 36 years old when he played Sergeant Bernie Terwilliger. He brought confidence and professionalism to the role, portraying a dependable officer who worked closely with the detectives to solve some of the department's toughest cases. The part helped establish him as a familiar face on television. But behind the scenes, he carried the constant burden of being compared to his father, legendary actor James Whitmore. Rather than spending his life trying to escape his father's shadow, James chose a different direction. He reinvented himself as a television director, a move that finally gave him the creative freedom he had been searching for. Over the years, he directed episodes of hit series including NCIS, Quantum Leap, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, proving that his success was built on talent, not family connections. But years of non-stop production schedules eventually took a toll on his mental well-being, leaving him with chronic anxiety that he has continued to manage over the years. He eventually stepped away from the entertainment industry altogether. Leaving Hollywood allowed him to focus on a quieter, more balanced life. By 2026, James Whitmore Jr. is 77 years old and enjoying a peaceful retirement with his longtime wife Celalesia Whitmore in the United States. Although he still lives with the emotional effects of years spent under intense pressure, he remains in good health and mentally sharp thanks to a disciplined lifestyle and the unwavering support of his wife. Bruce Davison as Captain Wyler. Bruce Davison was 39 years old when he appeared as the tough and authoritative Captain Wyler. His commanding screen presence and thoughtful performance made the character a respected leader within the police department, earning him widespread recognition from television audiences. But just as his career was gaining momentum, Bruce made one of the boldest decisions of his professional life by accepting a role in Longtime Companion 1989. At a time when stories about AIDS and gay relationships were still considered highly controversial in Hollywood, taking the part came with serious consequences. Many producers distanced themselves from him, and opportunities became much harder to find. The professional backlash soon spilled over into his personal life. As work became less consistent and financial pressures mounted, the strain affected his relationships, contributing to the painful breakdown of his marriages to Jess Walton and later Michelle Corey. Ironically, the very performance that brought him a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination also cost him years of career uncertainty and personal hardship. Instead of allowing those setbacks to define him, Bruce fought his way back through the strength of his performances. He rebuilt his reputation with memorable roles, including Judge Robert Kelly in the X-Men films, while audiences also continued to celebrate his acclaimed performance in the horror classic Willard, 1971. His comeback proved that genuine talent could outlast prejudice and industry politics. Now 80 years old in 2026, Bruce Davison enjoys a stable and fulfilling family life with his third wife, Michelle Davison. Although age has brought some mild heart-related health concerns, he continues to monitor his condition carefully and remains active with a positive outlook.